Welcome to Followers of the Force Live, where we're, keeping it real casual here on a Wednesday night. Real casual. We're professionals, really.
We really are.
Yep.
We
Top
really
of the
are.
class.
Yep.
Oh my god.
This is the one where we drink, right? This is what we drink on the room.
What?
No,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what day it is. Like I will drink. It doesn't matter what day
I'm
it
glad
is.
we settled that because I'm like, should I have wine? Is that okay during a news roundup?
Oh, it's totally fine.
I'm drinking
had a
seltzer
bottle while I
because
was
I'm
making dinner.
All right.
Anyways,
I'm not drinking. I just act like
it has been 3 days, and the Star Wars universe is like fucking exploded.
It has.
Y'all.
It's been our group
I'm
chat is.
I'm so tired from happiness. Though, like I'm so tired from happiness.
All of my news points have exclamation points because that's how I talk. So we're gonna start. It's March 31st. Happy Trans Day of Visibility, everybody.
Yes.
It's also the last day of Women's History Month. So tomorrow's April Fool's Day, but you know what? This entire last year has been a joke. We're gonna skip that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Hands down.
Okay,
Okay.
so just start at the beginning, I guess.
Start with
Meg,
Monday.
start at the top, and we'll work our way to the.
There's new publishing news. Meg, you wanna this is a kind of your corner. You wanna summarize this for us?
Oh, there's so much. I'm like, yep. So basically, the biggest thing that we got was a book announcement. I'm fine. Just give me a second. My brain is catching up with my mouth.
It's okay. I'm in that state a lot. You're good, girl.
There is a new audio drama coming out this fall, a new High Republic story. So we've gone from, having just books and comics to a manga to now audio goodness, because all the audio dramas we've gotten so far have been great. So this one should be even better. And it's written by Kevin Scott. So like take that like level of awesome and just like elevate it to like the highest possible level. So
I haven't listened to any of
the Nihil.
yes.
Lorna D.
It's a villain story, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I haven't listened to Dooku Jedi Lost yet, but I really want to because I love audio drama.
Somebody on Twitter put out the thing, "Look at me, I'm Lorna D" in the tune of Grace.
No.
And that's what I'm singing for the next month, just so everybody knows.
Like,
So
look at me.
I can't. I'm done.
Okay, if you go into the loud,
because we already broke that.
It gets weird. Okay, it gets weird.
I don't think. No, probably not. We're not going there. But we'll stick with the chorus, and we'll just kind of go from there. But that I was both cursing it and laughing the whole time. So all of you get to enjoy my internal monologue whenever I see this.
Head, so I'm happy about that.
No, I'm so excited about this. Like, I love the Nihil. Like,
yeah,
they are like so good. So good. I'll try not to spoil it, but man, they are some serious villains.
So many books to catch up with. I was texting my coworker because I'm like, I might need another one of your Star Wars books since I have 5 of your books sitting on my shelf right now.
Oh no,
literally all of them. I'm just like, a girl needs to focus and read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a good one.
Yeah, that's.
You know anything about who's doing the audio drama, or is it just?
We don't have any cast members yet, as far as I know, right, Meg?
No, just the basic announcement, but like, yeah.
I mean,
that was enough. You're like, I'm sold. I don't care.
They drop these little crumbs for us, and they watch us little scurry like little cockroaches.
There was no warning on this one. I didn't even think they were going to do an audio drama, which is something I love about the High Republic, and we can talk more about this later on Saturday, but just how it's like crossing so many mediums within like the Star Wars like story universe, like you said, Meg, like manga, audio dramas, adult novels, young adult.
Finding all this stuff that they can do, and it's like, okay, we might not be able to fit this into an established, I guess, story time, because it would be weird if you were trying to put an audio drama in the middle of like Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
But because they have this whole open thing, they've got all this. It's a big sandbox.
Exactly.
It's a big sandbox.
Yeah.
And it's planned too.
Yep, they've been
It's
working
a
on this for
sandbox.
years. Yeah.
Now, do you think they're gonna? Do you think it's gonna keep expanding from here? Because they started off with just books, and then
Oh, yeah.
books and comics, and so do you think it'll expand to the films, or do you think it's going to expand to Disney Plus?
I mean,
Or-
Acolyte's the end of the High Republic.
I could see it
Oh.
All the
connecting.
way. It
Yeah.
goes all the way to Acolyte. It's supposed to end the High Republic, not end the like the publishing era of High Republic, but that's the timeline.
The end game, yeah.
Mhm.
The end
and
game.
the
Acolyte
timeline.
comes out next year,
2023, I think.
2023.
It's a couple.
Okay, so we
it's
got
a
a
little bit because
so we got
there's
a
3
good-
phases to this. We're barely through phase 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
we're not anywhere close. Okay, so
No,
so
And I
basically
can see
tell me that I
them-
have time to read these books.
Yeah. Oh,
Before
and I can see
Acolyte
them
comes
doing
out.
more
All
with
right.
the High Republic after that show's out. That's just the end of like their in-universe timeline. Is the High
Mhm.
Republic starts to end about at that point.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through Light of the Jedi. So
I have a copy of Into the Dark somewhere.
Somewhere. It's a
Somewhere.
very good book.
Now, are you guys reading all of the stuff around the High Republic or just the books?
I can't. Like, there's
Okay.
too much.
I
I'm
read
reading.
Light of the Jedi.
Yeah, I'm reading Light of the Jedi, Into the Dark. I have the audio drama on borrow of A Test of Courage. So I'm trying to get through like the main stuff and just kind of reading up on like what I can't get to because it's so much,
So
but in the best way possible.
For someone like me who is immune to reading, just the main books that you need to focus on to kind of keep track of the story, and then like the comics are just sort of like
Yeah, the adult novels are
Cool.
probably where to stay, like Light of the Jedi, and then
Okay.
the next one was just the Rising Storm, which Kevin Scott's doing again.
okay,
So
good to know.
yeah, I
See,
think
I've
that's
really gotten into the Star Wars comics when they did the pre-Rise of Skywalker stuff. I really liked those, so I kind of want to go look into the High Republic comics because
perfect. I was
Yeah,
like,
I've learned that I
everybody.
really like comic books, and I feel like a freaking
Yeah.
nerd every time I walk into the comic store. I'm like, "Do you have my pre-order?" And the guy gives me a look because I only order Star Wars comics, and I'm like, "Stop it."
Well, I don't know if you are, but the Vader comic. I mean, I kind of feel like Vader's like an overdone character, but the Vader comic is really good.
I've heard,
I've heard good things about him, and I kind of
Yeah.
want to read the Poe Dameron comics because I love
Yes.
Poe Dameron. But I haven't gotten to all of them yet. I had all of them when they were doing the pre-Rise of Skywalker ones, and I bought all of those. One of them I could not find at my comic store, so I called the theater producer I work for, who's also a friend, and I'm like, "Hey, you know how there's a comic store like right downtown where you live?" And he's like, "What do you need?" I'm like, "Can you go pick up my pre-order for me and bring it when you see me next?"
You're still going to the comic store to pick up stuff. You're not like just doing it on the Kindle like I am with the Darth Vader comic.
I am like, I only got a Kindle a couple of years ago. Like
Mhm.
my ex-boyfriend had to buy me one, and his parents bought me a big enough gift card that I would use it because I was resistant to the idea.
Mm.
I worked at an indie bookstore for most of my formative years. It
Oh,
took a
okay, I
while.
get it.
I have a
It
lot
took
of
a while.
opinions on Kindles. I've had 3. But
See,
the
I
Kindle
love
app,
it.
the Kindle app on mobile is really good for comics because of the interface.
Well, that's what I mean. I used to have a Kindle, then I got an iPad and just put the Kindle app on it. And
Yeah,
so now
same.
that's
See, I love the e-reader and everything. It's just for me, like there are some things that I still like, some books that I still want to be able to touch, and some of them I don't need to. Like, and if I want it immediately, like I bought Resistance Reborn on Kindle because I couldn't wait. I also like books on Kindle because I can read while I'm knitting, which is the nerdiest thing I've done in a while. But anyway, yeah, no, I like all kinds of books. I was just very resistant to the Kindle idea until then. And I kind of like walking into the comic store to buy my comics.
No, I get that. I got into the Kindle and doing that mostly because every time I moved, the heaviest and the most loathsome box was the box of books, or the couple of boxes of books. And so after a while, I was just like, you know what, I'm tired of moving books. I'm gonna keep the books I like, and maybe not some of the other ones. Now I feel like I got too many books. I got rid of a bunch of books, and since I've been in this apartment, I've gotten lots of The Art of Mandalorian, The Art of Rise of Skywalker, The Art of...
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't need to hear about my books. What else is going on?
Sorry.
Okay, I was like, what happened after Monday? Because there's so much. What was next? Kenobi?
Yeah, give me one. I got a whole list of exclamation points. Obi-Wan casting.
Oh,
I
man.
even have. It's going to cover our faces for a second, but you.
What?
Perfect.
No, never.
Perfect. Cover my face, please.
Hey.
We have
Look
it
at that
right.
glorious cast list. It's so beautiful.
Good. Look at it.
Okay, so my friend Missy, who I just saw comment, so I know she's in the comments, texted me the other day to ask me when Hayden Christensen got hot. And I informed her
It's always been hot.
that he had always been hot. And then I said, I think he got hot when like they dropped him into the lava, and apparently that wasn't the right answer either. So
Yeah.
I don't know what you want from me.
This
right,
cast is beautiful. This is like
They're so
unfair.
I am so excited about Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Oh
That's
my
what
God.
I'm most excited about. I gasped when I saw that they were on this. I was like,
Can we
Oh, and
can we talk for a moment about how I thought Joel Edgerton, because he's been in a lot of things since episode 3. I'm like, oh, they brought him in. He must be like a villain or something.
Oh, no.
And then Jason's like, he's Uncle Owen. I'm like,
Well, everybody thought that Bonnie was like gonna be Satine or something, and I'm like,
Yeah, I
no,
saw
y'all, no,
I
y'all.
know, it was just such a heartbreaking thing on Twitter where they were like, is she going to be Satine? I was like, oh, sweetie, you need to go watch Attack of the Clones again.
Go back, go back.
Did you know?
And
that
I will say this. I'm going to try and talk about this segment without bringing up the vow, which she is in.
I was about to ask that apparently she was in a cult and got out of it.
yeah, I still need to watch that.
The vow is
Oh.
so addictive on HBO
I
Max.
did not know that.
Yeah. But I want to kind of go through and see. Okay, so Ewan McGregor we knew. Hayden Christensen we knew.
Seeing their names together again, like had me like super emotional. I wasn't ready for that. I'm like, oh my God, my childhood. I'm so happy.
Okay,
like,
sorry, I have no way to put this anywhere but right over the middle of our faces.
No,
Sorry.
It's okay.
absolutely fine.
Like,
In
Hayden
fact, you
Christensen,
can put it
it's
back
fine.
over my face if you need to.
And happy birthday to Ewan McGregor today. What a fucking fantastic week this man has probably had.
Did you
Yeah,
see the
he's
video
50.
of him riding a unicycle?
Yeah, he's
And I
50.
said,
I want to look this good when I'm 50.
I know, right?
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, so we got Ewan, Hayden.
Okay, so Moses Ingram. I don't know. Anybody know anything about her? I don't know much
She
about
posted something on Instagram about I get to play with lightsabers. Theories
Plural.
now.
What?
Plural.
Lightsabers.
Lightsabers.
I know. Okay.
Plural.
I don't.
Who do we know who has 2?
I don't want to speculate too wildly because I don't want to be disappointed, but I'm going to
Plural.
speculate wildly.
So you think? So your guys' theory is she's young Ahsoka?
I'm
She's
running
gotta
it.
be, right? Look how
I'm
far up
running
in the
on
cast list she is.
Inquisitor. I'm running on Inquisitor theory. That's
Yeah,
my
I'm pretty
personal.
interested
I'm
in
happy
Inquisitor.
with whatever I see.
Plural.
I'm excited. Then we have Uncle Owen and Aunt
Yep,
Beru.
Uncle Owen
and
and
then
Aunt Beru. Again, I saw this cast list and I literally gasped at my desk while I was working. I was not prepared for that. And if we're gonna see
voice.
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, that he's not on here, but we will see a 10-year-old blonde boy who lives with them.
Yeah,
no
definitely.
reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting. And honestly, again, I don't want to talk about the vow too much, but that she's actually working is really impressive. Once you watch the vow, you'll understand why I was like even more emotional about her being in this. So, and then next we have Kamal Nanjiani.
I
That
don't
was
know him. What
such a
has he been in?
surprise.
Now,
Oh my God.
somebody
I
on
can't believe you kept
Twitter
that a
said he
secret.
was adult Kitster, and I just tweeted back.
Oh,
"Adult
I saw
Kitster."
that too.
I don't
saw
know him. What
both
has he
of
been
them.
in?
That would be great. What?
What has he been in? I'm not familiar with him.
Oh, he's in Silicon Valley. He's a stand-up. Did you ever see The
Okay.
Big Sick?
I'm sorry?
The Big Sick?
Oh, I thought
No,
you
I
said
did
something else.
Yeah, so did I. My brain went somewhere.
Yeah,
too.
no.
sorry.
It's an Amazon movie, Amazon Prime. It's
Yeah.
based on it's a true story based on him and his wife and their early relationship. It's really good.
I
He's
just-
also going to be in the Eternals coming out if things goes the way they're going in November.
Yeah, the internet exploded over his shirtless picture. I do remember that.
He got all beat up for Kenobi. Yeah. Okay, so next is Indira Varma, who I only know from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she was the only one we knew about besides Ewan and Hayden. Everybody else, I think, has been a surprise, which is amazing.
Yeah, and
I would love to see her. I don't know what I want to see her as. Again, I'm just so happy. Like, this cast is just so diverse and amazing that I'm just like, y'all can be whoever the fuck you want, and I'm here for it.
Right.
Y'all can play sand people, and I don't care.
I don't care.
Rupert Friend, if you haven't watched Homeland, he's great in about 3 or 4 seasons of Homeland.
Okay, what was his like trope or like archetype? What was his character? I'm curious.
He's British, so I'm thinking, well, he's the Imperial, but
totally gonna be the
He also plays Mr. Wickham in Pride and Prejudice.
Oh my god, I saw that picture.
Emily and I can't go through an entire episode without mentioning the Keira Knightley version of Pride and Prejudice at least twice.
You'd think it's like my top favorite movie. It's really not, but I do. I mean, I love it.
It was a really formative movie because it came out like when I was transitioning from middle to high school. So very formative movie in my teen years.
Yeah. Well, and in that movie, he looks a lot like Orlando Bloom.
Yes, he does.
I think he looks less like Orlando Bloom now.
Yeah, he starts off as kind of a little bit of an antagonist on Homeland, and then he sort of becomes one of the good guys.
Okay.
Which is the opposite of Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Then we got O'Shea Jackson Jr., or as I like to call him, Ice Cube Jr.
I've heard good things about him too. I don't think I've seen his work, but somebody was posting.
Well, he plays young Ice Cube in Straight Outta Compton, which he was really good. Which I don't know how much of a stretch that was for him, seeing as how the man raised him. It's very rare that you end up playing somebody in a movie who raised you. But he's been in a couple of things. I think he was in the last Godzilla movie, The King of the Monsters. I think the only thing I remember him from is Straight Outta Compton, and he was pretty good in that. But
that's good. I've just learned from all of these series and stuff that you guys are mentioning that I need to watch more television and movies, apparently, because I don't know who any of these people are.
And then Sung Kang is Han Solo from the Fast and Furious movies. But his Solo is like Soul and then O at the end, like the city Seoul.
Hey, guys, it's our Fast and Furious reference.
Yeah, it's our
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he was in the one that I saw. He was dating Wonder Woman in the one that I saw. It was pretty good. They took it safe down the street. Simon Kessel, I don't know anything about her really. So
it's probably Simone.
Simone, yeah.
Simone Kessel. Yeah.
Oh, would they? No, hold on. Wait, this takes place 10 years. I'm thinking.
Yeah. And then Ben Sasse, I just know he's a director. He directs movies with his brother, but apparently he's been in movies. He directed Uncut Gems that came out with Adam Sandler a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And the Robert Pattinson movie Good Times or something.
I don't think I've seen
Okay.
that.
It was one of the movies that like
thinking?
Robert Pattinson made, and people were like, "Oh, he can act. He's not just the Twilight guy." So that was like the movie that.
Excuse you, he was Cedric Diggory long before he was the Twilight guy.
I found it old
I will die on.
When they announced Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman, and I wrote, "Does this mean Batman will sparkle?"
Oh no.
God.
It's a good-looking cast and a
He's
very
gotten
diverse
so
one.
much hate over the last like 10 years.
I do. You know what? It's funny. The last few movies, like he's great in Tenet, and all the movies I've seen that he's not in Twilight, I thought he was great. But
Yeah.
I did have to suffer through the Twilight movies, and those were not fun. Yeah, it's set 10 years after. It's official. It's 10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
Which puts it at about the halfway point because it's 19 years from Sith to New Hope. So that's about the halfway point.
Well, also, it doesn't.
It's gonna be good.
Isn't that when Solo is supposed to take place too?
I thought Solo was. Give me a second.
Because he's like 20 in Solo. So he would. Because he's 30, and he's 30 in like New Hope. Han Solo is
32 in New Hope.
He's 32 in New Hope. So It's relatively around the same. So we could. I'm just saying, it's possible to see some solo type characters. We know Maul's still around.
Right. And that was one thing I saw a lot of people complaining, like, oh, Maul won't be in there because Rebels, did what they did. And I'm like, yeah, he will. He's still alive.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Okay.
Timeline works.
Yeah.
So from what I've found, it does say that the end of Solo is about 10 years before episode 1. So it's about that same time, maybe a year before.
So could we see Impy's Nest, star of Falcon and the Soldier?
Please. That'd be pretty cool.
Either her or her mom,
please.
Okay, so I know that never mind, it wouldn't fit because it would be in the same Solo timeline. There's a thing, I don't remember if it was in a comic or what, but Yun Emphas Ness at one point meant Yun Jin Urso, and I need it.
That was a book epilogue. Which book was that?
I don't remember, but I need
Catalyst?
it.
No. Rebel Rising.
Rebel Rising? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing about that cast list is that's the people we know are going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's still tons of people that I'm sure will surprise us as we go through it.
It did say full when they tweeted it, right? It said full cast list, but I don't. There's got to be
but if they're going to pull like a Luke Skywalker at the end of Mandalorian, they're not going to put them on the cast list.
Like the fact that almost none of this cast list is amazing to me.
Yeah, the only one that leaked was the girl from she's like
Indara.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones. Yeah,
I think Indara was the only one that leaked.
Yeah.
Okay, my thing with this week on Star Wars social media is that whoever's running their social media is having a great week because they just keep dropping bombs and walking away.
Just like deuces.
They just drop the mic and walk away.
All right, next bomb. It's after
Kenobi. Let me go back to my banner list. Sorry, I clicked off. Bad Batch trailer.
Oh my god!
We're not in our group chat. It got real weird real fast.
Not okay.
Meg was screaming. Emily was crying. Hannah was in a closet somewhere.
Well, it came with it was completely without warning. There was just like Monday morning.
So I had 5 minutes of warning that something was going to happen because one of my friends on Twitter sent me a message going, "Hey, the Bad Batch trailers just dropped in French.
Yeah.
Do you want me to translate for you?" I'm like, "Yes." And then 2 minutes later, she's like, "That was for nothing." I dropped the English. I remember dropping the English one. And I was like, "Hold on, I need to go in the closet somewhere at work. Just calm down and watch this."
Yeah, I was working too, and you guys were going crazy on Twitter. And I'm like, I don't have time to watch it right now, but I saw a screenshot of Captain Rex.
Return of the King! Oh my god, that one I wasn't ready for. I was like, oh my god. I wasn't ready to see Rex. I don't know why.
For some reason, I hadn't seen any of the Bad Batch trailers up until this point. I've been avoiding it, and I've been avoiding thinking about it or theorizing. So I wasn't even expecting Rex to be in it at all.
Yeah.
And now I'm so happy.
I haven't even watched that episode of Clone Wars yet, but I was excited because y'all were excited. And then I saw Rex and I yelled about that for a while.
I don't know how the animation team just keeps getting better and better.
Right?
I was just watching that trailer and I'm like, oh my god, this is beautiful. This is amazing to watch.
And it's 70 minutes. I wish they would release it in theaters.
Oh
70 minutes.
Yeah, that was probably the biggest surprise. So we're getting a 70-minute episode on May the 4th. And then I'm guessing another 22-minute episode, I guess
later that week.
Yeah, on Friday. Because then we'll start going to the weekly releases on Fridays. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god, I'm not ready.
It's complete and total madness.
Yeah,
okay, can we talk about this poster?
It's beautiful.
Look at it. Look at it.
Oh my god.
Look at our babies.
So beautiful.
Just the colors in it too, the contrast of the very masculine armor and the very feminine pink sky. I love it.
Yeah, and sunset to symbolize that this is the end of the Republic and the end of the clones, and it's so Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna start crying again.
Jason's
Oh,
like, I'm
Jason's
getting
like,
out
I'm
of here.
out.
He's like, I can't deal with all of you.
No, I think I clicked on something. I was trying to find like some screenshots that I could share.
Well, and then you have this new character that we all learned whose name is Omega.
Omega.
Yeah.
Who we think is a girl.
Yes, I had somebody on Twitter tweet me because somebody asked me, like, do you know like what pronouns they are? And I was like, no, I've been going they and them because I can't tell.
Yeah.
And somebody tweeted me and they said in the Spanish version, it says niña, which is female. So we're running off the very soft theory that Omega is a female.
Yes.
Which means is this the first female clone that we're ever going to see? Because they're on Camino when we meet her, which also just clones becoming accidental dads.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
my God.
I saw someone say
Like
the dad batch. I really liked it. I can't take credit for it.
And then
I
Echo
like the dad
holding
batch.
Omega's hand. I'm just like, oh my God, my soft boy.
Yeah.
the new thing of Star Wars. They're like, you know what?
We're
gonna bring you this
capitalizing
really,
on this.
we're gonna bring you this really badass character, and I'm like, Mandalorian, he's a bounty hunter, and I'll watch it. It looks kind of good. And then they're like, but he's soft and a dad, and I'm like, tell me more.
Yeah.
I love it. I love how they're I'm hoping with what we've seen is like they're tapping into, again, like you said, like even with the poster, that more feminine side. Not that I'm saying I want it to be like super all one way or the other, but like having that balance is something I think that needs to be shown more.
Yeah.
And something that we haven't gotten a lot of in recent things.
Yeah,
but
and especially since it would be otherwise such a male-centric story, other than like
Yeah.
Fennec Shand and the like
which is
Yeah.
initially
Kaminoans.
which is initially why I was so hesitant to even get excited about this, because I'm like, oh, like it's just gonna be, because I was very ambivalent towards the batch. Now I'm like, look at this, I've got a shirt with all their names on it. But like I was like, oh, it's just gonna be like a bunch of like clones, which I love, just traipsing around the galaxy shooting things. And now with like the introduction of the trailers and then Omega and kind of a little bit more of the storyline that we're getting post Order 66, it's shaping up to be a story I'm excited to watch.
Well, we really don't know kind of
Gonna go into emotional upheaval.
I just kind of want to go around what everybody sort of thinks the concept is, because I always thought the concept is they were just sort of like the clone A-team or something, and they were just going to be like these, going around doing good deeds for people.
I almost hate speculating, but I almost hate it. But the one thing that
but we're going to speculate why.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. The one thing
do you think the stuff with Tarkin at the beginning is a flashback, or do you think that that's...
No. I think it's
both.
Like this takes place during or after Order 66.
Like post. Because the first, because I think that first like training scene that we see, because it has Echo in it, so it's post Order 66, or at least post
it's
like
post
the arc that we saw.
The arc from the last season of Clone Wars.
So either way, it's probably within that, because we saw Echo, because he said 5 clones and the batch was initially 4.
Right.
What gets me though is that, and thank God for people who paid more attention to the trailers than I do. I was just an overwhelming ball of emotion. But something that interested me was that when they get Omega out of Camino, however and why that happens, Crosshair isn't with them.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about how he's not
the only clone that's not there. And it's an interesting concept to think about, because Crosshair does have an attitude problem. We've seen that.
Yeah. But if anyone were to not be with them and to be like up high in a tower, it would probably be Crosshair too.
That was my theory. Like when people were talking about this, I'm like, he's the sniper. Wouldn't he, like we saw him initially kind of on the ground with the batch, but then we also saw him in the episodes like up high, like he wasn't supposed to be in the frames, because it's like he's probably like a couple of meters away. So it interests me to wonder why on Camino, where there's not a clear fight that we're seeing, why he wasn't with them. And then you're running obviously more theories on Order 66. The chips is the batch even chipped?
Well, Echo would still be chipped.
Yeah.
Echo
unless
it got
unless
fried.
the Techno Union did. Yeah, unless the Techno Union.
Unless it took it out. Yeah.
And then
Echo would still be chipped.
I saw a lot of theories about Rex's armor because it doesn't have the blast hole in it. And so either like it takes place before that happens in Order 66, it's an animation error, or he's wearing what some people think is Jesse's armor. That he took Jesse's armor as like a tribute to him.
In Rebels, does he have the blast hole?
I don't remember.
He doesn't even have the pauldron, I don't think.
Okay.
No,
I don't think he has the pauldron. He just has the J guy helmet.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I thought he had the chest thing.
I've also heard that it's not really Rex, that it's just someone in his armor.
That'd be interesting because
Oh, that
you're
would be
putting the target. You're putting the target on your back, wearing Rex's armor, one of the most notable clones in the galaxy.
Yeah, and
Well, I
Rex
mean, if you're
does
trying
have
to
his.
trick the Bad Batch,
Yeah.
why not trick them as somebody that they trust?
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, I know all the clones have over the years have developed their own sort of personality, but you know.
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
It wouldn't be impossible to impersonate another clone.
Be hard, but
Be hard, yeah.
Something else I was thinking about was I've been thinking about this trailer a lot.
I'm shocked that you have told that.
Thanks. I don't know. I'll take that as the compliment I'm sure it was intended to be. No, well, I was thinking about that in the Mandalorian trailer that we saw, the full one, where we only see snippets from the first 4 episodes. Right. We don't have a full episode count list on this yet, do we? We're just assuming it's probably like 8 or 12.
Yeah,
that's
probably
that's
only
what I'm a
seeing,
little afraid of is that we're not like
we're seeing the first half of this.
Well, yeah, we're seeing the first 4 episodes the first week. So
yeah,
it's even if they did 10, that's still 6 more weeks
how are we seeing? Oh, because it's a 70-minute premiere, so it's
yes, it's basically 3 episodes.
So much. That is so much.
Unless they want to basically, if they don't want to do it as like that is like a 3-episode arc, they might do it like Clone Wars and kick it off where it's like almost a mini movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That I have absolutely nothing to back this up, but I'm thinking that the first 3 episodes is either like the first act of the entire season, or if they're doing it like Clone Wars, where they're doing like different arcs, that would be the first arc of this.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if we might only have seen stuff so far from that first episode.
That's very possible. There's a lot of stuff.
Seen seems like it's.
I mean, for all we know, the first arc is all about Omega, and then like the 5th episode is not about her at all. It's just another adventure or whatever. I don't know.
I want to see these guys try and take down the newly forming Empire, but that's me, and you know how much I love Rebellion.
Well, I would say the only thing I'm hesitant on is I hope it's not a similar thing as the Mandalorian where they have to take Omega someplace. Like it's like that same sort of like, oh, here's the town we have to protect and take her to this certain place, and
only because there has to be some sort of goal and conflict for there to be a show.
It's just we saw that for 2 seasons on the Mandalorian, and I would kind of hope they would do something a little different, but
it'll be interesting.
What could the plot be?
If she's a clone that didn't turn out right, they could be trying to destroy her too, and the Dad Squad decided they weren't going to.
The Dad Squad? What are you doing?
Didn't turn out right.
I mean, the Caminos, they're cloners. So they cloned all of the they cloned the clone army for the Republic, but I'm sure they clone other things.
I'm sure they have other contracts, but it's interesting that Omega knew their names.
Yeah.
Well, and I saw some people, I don't even know who. I'm sorry. I watched so many things. I wish I could tell you like exactly who said this, but they commented on her accent is the same accent that the Jango Fett original actor used. Not so much D. Bradley Baker, but the original actor. So they
Tamura,
they think that like links her to Jango.
That she's Boba's sister.
If you're growing up among the clones who all speak similar in this accent, then you're going to develop that accent anyway. So I don't know how much stock to put into that.
Yeah.
No.
All I'm going to say is Wrecker's an absolute gem. And if I see him cry, it's going to break me in half. He's just so fun. Like nothing brings him down. And I just laughed so hard. Like just giving him the big middle finger to Tarkin. And I'm like, yes. Yes.
I did
Those
kind
are
of
my boys.
really. I kind of hope Tarkin's the big bad of this because I really enjoyed seeing him again.
Yeah.
And especially
That
the
was
Clone
really
Wars
fun, yeah.
version of Tarkin is different from the movie version. But
Yeah.
the Clone Wars version of Tarkin.
So
Well,
grumpy.
I know.
Something that's interesting to me is I wonder if he remembers Echo because he was part of the Citadel arc where Echo died.
Oh, was he?
Oh,
I didn't
He was
Echo-
part
I
of that
didn't Echo
arc
was
where
there.
Echo died at the Citadel because they were rescuing him and the Jedi Master. I've forgotten his name, Even Peel or whatever.
Mhm.
So I wonder if he remembers.
I mean, I'm
Echo.
sure he does. He still has the
Yeah.
same call number, right?
Yeah, he still has the same designation and stuff. So I don't know. That's going to be really interesting to see if that plays out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't know.
I just want to know
Okay.
where Barris is. I know this probably isn't the right show.
Hashtag where's Barris?
I mean,
Here's
we all
what
have
that kid going on
questions.
batch.
We all have
So many
questions.
questions. So many
Yeah, because
questions.
they didn't even give us like a full. I mean, we know about what time this show takes place, obviously, but like where it falls, there's a lot going on right around then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, if it takes, I mean, the first trailer we saw back in, hello doggies. The first trailer we saw showed Palpatine doing the Senate speech from Revenge of the Sith.
Mhm.
So
So many chills.
we know.
I haven't seen these trailers.
Oh my god, Emily.
I don't know if I saw that first trailer.
It was
That was the one that got me excited about it because
Yeah.
I remember they announced Bad Batch like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, and I was like, Bad Batch, whatever.
I think they
And
announced
then-
it right after the Clone Wars episode aired, which would be
Yeah, they announced that the Bad Batch was coming, but then that sizzle reel came during that really big announcement when
right back
like,
in November.
when we
Yeah.
got like
Oh.
overwhelmed.
And
when I
when I
was
saw the
joy.
trailer, I was like, when
That's
is
why I
this
was-
coming? I was super excited. And so but yeah, in that trailer, I think the Bad Batch is watching it. I mean, it could be just the way they cut it, but it seemed like they
they're
were there with
watching
their clothes, like watching it.
Oh, they're watching the speech. Okay, I thought
They're
you said the
watching
Bad
the-
Batch was
Oh
watching the
yeah,
Bad Batch.
sorry. I was like, they were watching the trailer in their
Yes, they
clothes.
were. Yeah, it's you don't know how meta Bad Batch.
Very
is
meta.
going.
Okay, look.
Oh,
It's been a really long week, Jason. It's been a much better week, but it's been a
Man.
very long week.
Oh, I had a
It
long
has
week
been.
too, and it's only Wednesday. So
It's
you
only
know.
Kathleen
Wednesday.
Kennedy, if you can hear me, if you could drop an Andor tidbit tomorrow, I'm just gonna straight up die.
I don't think we can take
oh.
anymore.
Yeah,
I don't.
no.
Yeah,
No.
maybe I'll just pass out. And
I
die.
can't
I
take
just-
anymore. Please, no more.
So
Just
I'm
so-
thinking though that if they showed Tarkin, that means that Tarkin probably is a main character, like
Mhm.
the big bad.
Mhm.
And we know by episode 4, Tarkin has like climbed those ranks
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
really high, really quickly. So
Mhm.
He's bossing Vader around.
maybe this
Oh
doesn't
no.
end so well for our clones, is what I'm thinking.
I
And it
know.
shows,
Why would you say
it
that?
shows how Tarkin has climbs the ranks.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
Okay,
I will accept the theory as much as it pains me.
We also don't know how many seasons this is going to get. I don't think this is like
very
some of the
true.
like. I mean,
yeah, we didn't say this
we
was
had-
a limited series.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know Kenobi's a limited series, and we know I think even Andor is a limited series, but
Okay, Andor only has so long before the man dies. Okay.
right. What I'm saying
There's
is
only
we
so long
don't.
they can make
Bad Batch
Diego
thing-
Luna look under 30.
Rachel has feelings.
But,
Rachel has
but,
a lot of feelings. Sorry, I'm okay.
but Bad Batch they haven't said is a limited series or anything, or
Mhm.
so as far as we know, we could get 2, 3, 4, 7 seasons out of
Oh,
it. So
I don't know if I could take 7 seasons of this pain. This is going to be a
we
lot.
can do it. It's always worth it. The pain is always worth
That
it.
is true, Meg.
How
Also,
many
if
of them
Dave
do we
Filoni's
have?
in-
5?
if Dave
There are
Filoni's
5 of
involved,
them.
he has a real problem killing his characters. So like the ones that he likes.
I love these boys. I can't look at them without feeling like simultaneously happy and really emotional. This
I
is
mean,
really sad.
Rex is still alive. I mean,
Well, Rex
Well,
he's safe.
he's safe.
He's safe somewhere.
I'm just saying. Ahsoka's died twice, so I
Yeah.
don't think that.
Oh no. Well, then we get Wolf and Gregor at
Right.
some point. I hope.
yeah,
I think
I'm sorry,
that,
but Wolf and Hunter sharing a screen together. I may pass out a little bit. I'm sorry.
I
I
think
just
I'm
our-
not
can't get over how
ashamed of
much
that.
he looks like Rambo, like Stallone.
I love it. I love it so much.
I'm glad he doesn't talk like Stallone, but he does look a little bit like Stallone.
I'm gonna be quiet.
It's great. I think if there are 5 clones in the Bad Batch, they could be 5 seasons, and we lose one of them each season.
No,
Stop it! Stop it! No!
I'm just thinking story-wise.
I know.
Why are you hurting me?
None of them survive as much as we know.
So sad.
That's a
Oh.
good.
I want them to live a happy life of anonymity like Cut. That's all I want. I want them to have little children and just never hear from them again. I would be so much happier.
Well, I mean, maybe they get taken away by warp space whales too. We don't know.
Maybe.
Eaten by the space whale.
Just saying.
Okay.
Emily,
Emily's being the realistic one of us dreamers.
I have a very
Well, no, but it's the
important
question
question,
you have
Emily.
to ask with every prequel.
Who's gonna die?
Right. I mean, unless you're Obi-Wan, Vader, or Yoda, there's a pretty good chance you're not making it towards the end of whatever it is. So
Who hurt you this morning, Emily?
A lot of people have hurt me over the past week.
No.
Emily woke up this morning and chose violence. Jesus.
So much shame.
no,
so
I'm
much
completely
shame.
on Emily's side here. I mean, the first thing you have to ask yourself when you watch Rebels is like, okay, so why aren't Kanan and Ezra around when Luke is? I mean, these are the questions you have to ask. So
And
why
we
isn't
find
Ahsoka
out
around when
why.
Luke is
I
there?
think it does depend on what their target age audience will be.
Well, that is the other thing too. Is that one of the things I was watching, they said that probably the point of Omega was to be sort of the kid entry point into the show, kind of like Ezra was, or Ahsoka for Clone Wars, or Ezra for Rebels. You know, so it may be Omega hanging out with the Dad Squad for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
The Dad Squad. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
I have to show this to you guys because
Who's gonna
somebody
feed this
posted
poor kid? I don't think any of them can cook.
Oh,
None of
Okay,
them
now
can
we're back
cook.
to the Saturday night where we started worrying about Star Wars and cooking.
I'm sorry.
Maybe
Food
by
is
that time the Kaminoans just like developed a way that they don't have to eat anymore. They're
That's true.
just like
We can do
self-sufficient, just sunlight and rain.
They're plants now. The clones are plants. I can just see poor Echo, him and his pale skin just staring up at the sun. Be like, please work for me. That man. That poor man.
No.
Poor Echo.
Oh man. Oh,
I had
this-
forgotten about Echo. It's funny. I had forgotten about Echo until I saw the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, Echo is in there. That's right. I
How
forgot.
dare.
How could you?
Dare you forget about Echo? That man has been through so much.
Jason also woke up this morning and chose violence.
Oh my god. This show is gonna wreck me. I swear to
Well, no,
God.
that was my big
I'm
thing.
gonna cry about animated characters, and I'm a fully grown adult, and I admit that.
When The Mandalorian was on, that's why we do the Friday show at 9, is so that we would have time to watch The Mandalorian and then do that.
Oh.
So I thought we might do the same thing for this, but if these are super emotional, I don't know. I don't know if 9 o'clock
I just
is
need like a full. I need a couple of hours.
yeah. I don't know if 9 o'clock is enough time for Hannah to to calm down if
thing is,
something
though,
bad happens.
They're probably only after that first one. They're probably only 20-minute episodes, so she can
Right.
watch it, stare into the void for 40 minutes,
And then
process for an hour, and
Right.
then come on.
Well, the problem is I always watch these like right before I go to work because Twitter can't be quiet and I can't stay off of it because I have zero self-control.
Yep.
So like I have to go to work and pretend I'm completely normal.
Yep.
Like the last episode of The Mandalorian, like I was like flat out sobbing at like 4:30 in the morning, and then I had to go to work, and I'm like, I have to pretend this is completely fine. I'm fine.
I was baking cookies with my mother that day, and she didn't want to. Okay, she did not. She's like, just stay off social media. I don't understand why that's so hard. I'm like, you have to do your. She was virtual learning with her class for a while, so I was browsing social media while I was waiting for stuff to bake while she was working.
But the
And
thing is,
so
though, it's not just social media. It's like, it's Google News. It's different news sites because I got spoiled for either Mandalorian or something for WandaVision because I was trying to avoid, like, I didn't go on Twitter all day, but I like opened my Google app on my phone and it was like how Luke Skywalker got into the Mandalorian.
Oh
It
my
was like,
God.
you know, and then there's a picture of, you know, or whatever it was.
Okay.
It was.
Yeah. This is why
Mine
I have
was-
to read Attack on Titan because the manga just finished and the anime is not finished yet. So, yeah. Anyway, my Attack on Titan.
So yeah, I watched the end of Mandalorian on my tiny little ass mini iPad before I baked cookies with my mother, and I had to pretend like everything was fine when really I'm crying about Baby Yoda.
I work from home, so I just like. Well, when Clone Wars was airing, I knew I wanted to like watch every second, so I did wake up early. Like one of the few things I will wake up early for. But otherwise, I could just have it on in the back.
I kind of wish that they had done for the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars like they're doing for the first 3 episodes now of Bad Batch, and just had all 4 of those as just like one movie. I still keep saying I want to go back and just watch those 4 episodes as one movie, but I never do. So.
You should. That's very good. Very, very worth everyone's time.
Oh, but I've seen the episodes, but I saw them as they come out. They came out week after week. I wanted to talk about Fennec Shan in this. I mean, do we think that she's a big part of it, or do you think that we just get her for like a couple of like an episode maybe at the beginning, or?
I don't know. Ming-Na seems really excited. So, I mean, she was about Mando too, and we thought that she was going to be a one-off in that, but
right.
She wasn't. So,
no. Meg, what do you think? You look like you're about to say something. You look way too happy.
Oh, no, I don't know. I just I want to see as much of her as possible. Oh, only because we thought we were getting her for 1 episode and that was it. And oops, we were wrong about that. So
wrong about that.
I've never been so happy to be wrong.
Yep,
I love
exactly.
her.
Yeah.
Did she know Boba before Mandalorian?
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
I wonder if she just knew the clones.
We know that. We know Boba's out there somewhere, and they never did that arc for him that they had sort of planned
with him and Bane.
Him and Cad Bane. Yeah. So who knows? They might try and pull that into this somehow. I don't know, but
also
Boba's out there and running around.
How Boba becomes a pet of the Empire,
because
they obviously know that he's a clone because he looks like a clone.
Well, yeah, and he's wearing Jango Fett's armor.
Okay,
right.
Let's be real though. The actual memory in Star Wars is apparently about 5 years because everybody forgets everything between series. Collectively, as a galaxy, the memory is not very long.
Oh, it's gonna be.
I don't know if they forget or they just don't let on that they remember.
Yeah.
Look, all I know is you could look like this, go to a desert planet, change your name to Ben, and nobody knows who you are. So.
Oh, we're talking, Missy, about before.
Yeah, we're talking about her.
Yeah, before Mando.
And, for Bad Batch, not for Book of Boba Fett.
At this point.
But it would be cool if Boba's in the Bad Batch, and that's kind of how they meet up, or they.
How old would Boba be at this point? 18-ish, maybe.
Well,
how old is he in Attack of the Clones?
He's 10.
10.
This
So
would only be 3 or 4 years.
So 13, 15, maybe.
Yeah.
If we're being generous. Okay. Because they said Fennec was they're probably both around the same age. Maybe she's a little bit older. I don't know.
If Fennec is 15.
Neither of them are 20 yet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Unless there's a time jump.
Oof, yeah.
And also, with we don't even know how old she's supposed to be a Mandalorian because she's ageless.
I figure she's Ming-Na's age.
Yeah.
Okay, Ming-Na is in her 50s and looks better than I do, and I'm salty about it. Okay.
That's right. I forget she's been
Still
around.
think you look like you're in your 50s.
Yeah, you don't look like.
Thanks, Emily. I just turned 29.
No, but oh God, I lost my train of thought about her.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
I would love it if she's this 16, 17 year. I mean, I know Star Wars has a plethora of
taking everybody's nuts.
No, I remember what I was going to say. No, because Boba finds her at the end of that one episode that she's in season 1.
Right.
That's kind of that's how it's sort of set up. So there is a good chance that he has met her before that episode. So maybe this series at some point is when he does.
That'd be interesting. I'd like to see that.
Who else would you guys like to see in Bad Batch as a cameo or even just a?
Who would
Anyone from Rogue One? Sorry.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Rachel has one answer.
Cassian works. I mean, Cassian works as a possible person. We know Saw's in it.
Yeah, that was such a surprise.
Saw was in this.
Yeah, Saw's. I mean, Saw's. Before he's all jacked up.
Vaccine brain fog is real, y'all. I'm dying out here. I'm dying.
Yeah, so it's already got your obligatory Rogue One cameo. Saw's in it.
Do you think that do you think the Bad Batch thinks that the Jedi are an enemy or are still friendly?
Oh, that's such an interesting question because they don't directly work with Jedi. They only
they're their own.
From what we saw of them, they were just brought in like whenever they needed help. So they didn't work as closely that we've seen again.
Yeah, it seems to be a novel thing than working with Jedi.
That's going to be interesting to see if they buy into the whole Jedi or enemy thing.
Yeah, I would like to see some Jedis that survive Order 66 that are still being hunted down, and then run into them and have some.
As long as it's not Luminaria, because that would kill me. Yeah, Luminaria would kill me.
That was the question I had, Rachel. I think you were about to bring up. So this is depending on where this is, does this mean that Saw has gotten Jyn yet?
If it would be okay, it would be about
in the math.
Math and head. She was she lost her parents 15 years before the events of Rogue One, which would be 4 years after the events of Attack of the Clones. So if there's a short time jump,
depending on the time jump.
Revenge of the Sith.
4 years after Revenge of the Sith. Excuse me.
Okay.
So if there's a time jump,
there's a good chance. So there's a chance we could see Saw and some little girl hanging out with him.
I will die. I will straight up. I will be on the floor dead.
Rachel won't care about the rest of the story. Just as long as.
Oh, I want that for you. Not for you to die, but for you to see her.
just for the Rogue One happiness. We need Rachel needs all the crumbs.
Yeah. Rachel is I'm wearing my new shirt from Dorky Diva's Gin or So collection.
So good.
I love it so much. The
fast.
Around the edge says the strongest stars have hearts of Kyber, and I'm in love with it. So you all should get one too. Shout out to my coworker who made me buy it in a color because I was going to buy it in gray, and he said I needed color, so I got it in a color.
Yeah, I like it.
Missy has a point. We could see Saw and Galen.
Yeah, we could see Galen.
Could see Galen.
We could see
I'll die. Okay, so on a happy note, before we go into our last news story, somebody, because it was Bad Batch and it kept coming up, showed me this photo. Apparently, Diego Luna was in a movie called The Bad Batch. And this is my new favorite photo. Somebody tried to watch it on Twitter today, but they said like 10 minutes in, it goes into body horror. And I can't do body horror, so I can't watch it. So if somebody wants to watch it for me and just give me all the relevant bits of... Can't do body horror.
I think you might just be okay with that still. I don't know if you need
I'm going to go with that still because I didn't know that I needed a picture of Diego Luna with his shirt open, smoking a cigarette and a cowboy hat. But you know what? The internet gave it to me, so I was going to take it.
If I'd have known about it, I would have said, look, it's a still from Andor, and then just tried to gauge your reaction to that.
Jason, if you kill me, you have to run StreamYard.
Oh no! Oh my God!
It is this. I have a.
But wouldn't it be wild though if he did look like that? If that's like that's his costume for Andor.
Look, okay, he's undercover on I don't know.
World.
He's at a hut party. I don't.
No.
There's no good explanation.
At a hot party because that's the only cameo I need in Andor. That's the thing is people are starting to talk about the cameos for all these shows, and the one thing I want Andor to not have like gratuitous cameos, but I want the man to be able to touch Jabba the Hutt. I really, really want them to put Bail Organa in it.
Yeah,
I think Bail is a given for Andor. I can't imagine how
Timmy Smits has not aged a day. Did you know he sings? He can sing.
Yeah, Jimmy
I
Smith
did not
do
know that.
everything. I'm not. Yeah.
Remind me, Emily, later, and I'll send you the trailer. He's in the new In the Heights movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. Okay, so we do have a little bit more news.
We do.
A little bit. Last thing.
I was milking this Bad Batch kind of thing because I thought that was all.
For the Trans Day of Visibility, we had a Star Wars comic cover with our trans non-binary Jedi, which I know pretty much nothing about because I haven't read any of the High Republic, but it made a lot of my friends happy today, so I thought I'd share it.
All I know about them is that their name is the same spelled backwards and forwards. So like,
Oh, that's neat.
They're a palindrome?
That's
yeah.
really
So
cool.
like one is like
Hannah.
TEN.
Thank you. I'd be happy about this.
And then the other is CENET. I think.
See, it's kind of weird.
Oh,
They use they them pronouns, but it's also because they're like mind linked, so it's kind of a really strange sort of non-binary representation. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's Star Wars. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna get real weird.
Oh, that's so cool.
I'm kind of surprised that it's sort of taken this long for a science fiction movie to sort of have 9 binary characters.
I don't
excited.
know. Did anybody read Resistance Reborn, or is it just me that harbors an undying devotion to that book?
I love it.
I was like, hello.
Yeah, I was like,
I might have read that book like 3 times in the first 3 months it came out. It was fine. It's fine. There's a point in there where they're just, and Star Wars publishing is so far in representation ahead of the movies. It's not even funny. But I love it. But they're just like casually drop in that there was a wife and wife team of pilots. And I was just like, I had to read it twice because I was just like, did they just like casually drop in space lesbians?
Yep.
Just casual.
They sure did.
Yeah.
And then Rise of Skywalker gave me more space lesbians. And
I was going to ask if it was the same characters.
Nope.
Okay.
2 different sets.
It's Darcy and somebody. I don't remember.
Yeah. And if anything is a thing in my life, it's that I am pro space lesbians.
Well, who's not?
So not Star Wars related, but have you guys read anything by Becky Chambers?
I have.
A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. That series, so good, and based on this conversation, I think you'll all like it. So it's very. It's she does representation super well. So and it is sci-fi in space, just not Star Wars.
What are you on chapter 2 of the
Resistance Reborn?
Oh, okay.
I gave it to her for Christmas. So Missy has so much good Poe content, Meg. So much good Poe content. That's why I had to show that.
Good. So good.
All I remember about Resistance about that book is he goes to see Maz and she's like real nasty to him.
Yep.
It's surprising.
Okay, to be fair, after Last Jedi, Poe Dameron needed somebody to smack him upside the head.
No, I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I'm just saying because she called him out on everything that he did.
Oh, I love that book.
But I just wasn't expecting it because so much of Star Wars.
Okay,
I know you built that planet, so but you're good today, so that's fine. You know, like
there's so much in that book to love, and I cried over Wedge Antilles like 6 times.
We could do
Wedge's wife and his stepson, who's Snap, and Snap's wife that we don't see in The Rise of Skywalker, but she's in that book. So
yeah, she was.
What happens to Wedge Antilles? Do we know? Do I not know?
He's in Rise of Skywalker.
He's in Rise of Skywalker.
Okay. I thought you were saying like something happened to him.
No, all that happened to him. This isn't a spoiler. He married a woman who had a son.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no.
In the aftermath,
He just has a lot of very emotional lines in the book, and he's in a couple of the emotional moments.
Yep.
So I can't say too much because Missy's on the line. Yeah, I love her.
We gotta talk about that book more.
Yeah, we do. Okay, really, who doesn't? Thank you, Missy. Who doesn't?
Very true.
I love Maz. She's the best.
We need. Okay, I want I have a pitch, Disney. Anthology series. Because Maz has run that castle for 1,000 years. There's got to be a couple of stories.
Tales from Maz's Castle.
Tales from Maz's Castle, baby. Let's make it happen.
She was the narrator for the Forces of Destiny.
She was.
So
I need to.
I watched the Ahsoka episodes.
Yeah.
They're so cute. They're so freaking cute.
You know what? This podcast, if nothing else, how are we on brand 24/7? We said something about Thrawn earlier and Henna arises.
I just love how we all have our own little thing that we like.
We're really into.
I don't know what's Megan's. I guess Megan is
Gonk droid.
Gonk droids. He is the expert on gonk droids. And now that I know what gonk means, I will never look at the gonk droid the same way again.
There's a picture somewhere of, like, I think it's baby Oscar Isaac dressed up as a gonk droid.
Oh.
Okay, so you know those shirts that people make, like of famous people that's just like somebody, and it used to be all of the co-hosts' comfort characters, where it's like Ahsoka and Jin and Maul and Phasma and Gonk Droid.
Gonk droid.
Right.
I should just be gonk, 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 gonk.
And then eventually the Bad Batch will show up, hugging them all.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I don't hate on the gonk droid. I think they're great.
I was gonna say, and then I don't
three of
know
us
who
are gonna have a
Jason and
meltdown.
David's are, but they're somewhere. They're like Stanler and Waldorf from the balcony watching this
Jason
happen.
loves episode 6 Luke. That's his thing.
Yeah.
And
First 45 minutes of that.
David, I can just think of Qui-Gon.
David's character.
Shirtless Qui-Gon.
That was the first thing I thought of. I'm like, thank God. We're sharing a brain cell now.
No. Wonder Twin powers.
Oh.
Sober, y'all.
But really, David just keeps us, or attempts to keep us on track.
He really does. It's like herding cats.
He's really good at asking us questions and like keeping.
The problem is when David decides to embrace chaos, David goes for chaos in a big way. And he's like, look, I have a lightsaber. And we're like off for 45 more minutes.
Yeah, he tries to keep us on track by showing up to the live chats dressed as Kylo.
I wish I could have been there for that.
So
I screamed so much.
Great.
See that happen.
It was. Because I kept
reminds
wondering,
me-
why is his square dark? Like, usually if you're not on, it just has your name in it. Like, why is it dark?
And he waited so long.
He did.
He was great. But you know, under that mask, he was just sitting there giggling.
Yeah.
Not laughing or chuckling, giggling.
It was great. It was great.
Beautiful.
I was like, I did have questions. Like, I'm like, what is wrong with his internet? It's just black. It's just black in his thing. It's not even his name. So.
That's the thing is, first the question was, what was wrong with his internet? And then it went down, and we're all like, what is wrong with you, David? Oh, I think that's all of the news, unless something has dropped.
Yeah, unless something dropped.
Yeah, I was looking on Twitter. Nothing.
Yeah,
we might be here
real
major has
quick. I
happened.
mean, they might have announced the next 9 Star Wars movies while we were doing
God.
this. So.
Oh my
God!
I need a
Missy sent me a picture of shirtless Pedro Pascal in a cowboy hat. Thank you, Missy. I needed to be distracted.
Oh my God!
My friends are mean, guys.
I don't think that sounds very mean.
That doesn't.
No,
Yeah,
it's very good,
not
but
mean
they
at
all
all.
try. That's true.
Yeah,
That is
I've
very
gotten
true.
worse pictures from my friends than a shirtless Pedro
Pascal. Oh my God!
Oh, my dog is really having a good time. Hold on.
Oh bless.
Where's our polka dot?
Oh,
good.
Had a rough day.
She had a rough day. She's
Had
all
a rough week.
Oh.
Poor thing.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, because I was, as they were like taking her into the vet today because she can't go inside. I was like, oh yeah, and she hurt her leg on Friday.
Oh my God! You're one of those owners. I have so many of those.
Well, no, because I was so busy talking about what had happened to her. I'm like,
know.
I don't know if this is relevant, but she hurt her paw Friday.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Every time
Oh,
I take
I
Rex to the vet, it's like a laundry list. Well, this happened to him, and then this, and then
Right.
Jason.
She's doing good.
Oh, she's back to her old self. She's begging for food. She's barking at neighbors. She's, growling at anybody in the hallway. She's sleeping on her back on the couch, which is what she loves to do. Yeah, she's honestly, like 15 minutes after it happened, she was fine. But it was just one of these deals where like, well, you have to go get checked out. This is not the thing you're doing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have.
I mentioned it to Missy earlier, and she was very concerned.
Yeah, well, I was concerned. She's done it twice before, and the last time was like 10 months ago, and then the time before that was 6 months before that. And it's just like this thing. She just kind of freezes and kind of shakes, and like she clenches her jaw, and she's just kind of just out of it. And I'm like over there. I'm like trying. Like I don't know if she's breathing. Like I don't know what's going on. And I'm just, and then she's like, she's like looking at me to like fix it and to help her. And I have absolutely nothing I can do for her except just tell her she's going to be okay. So like she can't, like she just kind of like, you can't really pet her or anything. And so it's just like to make her, to like calm her down. And so, and they tell you, when an animal does this, like, they're like, the vet's like, well, next time it happens, like, get out your phone and put it on video. And I'm like, it just seems so, I mean, and I get why. I understand why. But it just seems so cruel that like having this fit and you're there with your camera on your phone. It just is against like every instinct I have with her. So, but she's good now. And if I got some seizure medication that I'm going to have to figure out what kind of food to hide it in, because she's so good at not eating the pills. It's amazing how good she is at not doing it.
Yep. I've just given up and started dropping them in the back of my dog's throat and rubbing it until they swallow.
Oh, I can't do that with my dog. He's too aggressive. But peanut
butter.
butter.
Zero won't sit still for that. I'm probably going to have to hide it in some cheese or hide it in some peanut butter. But she, like the last time she had pills, she ate around the cheese. She ate all of the cheese and just left the pill.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
When I'm giving advice, remember my dogs are the approximate size of most cats. So
yeah, I mean, she couldn't get into the car today, so even for me to lift her into the car was a big. And she was fighting me because she didn't want me to pick her up. She's like, "No, don't pick me up." So, but she's good now. She's good now.
Good. I just
we were all really worried.
Yeah, we all were.
Yes, we were.
It's not officially Star Wars news, but did you see the Rian Johnson news today?
No.
They picked up 2 sequels to Knives Out to go on Netflix.
Oh, so they're not doing Knives Out 2 and it's not going into the theaters?
I don't know. I'm wondering if it'll be like Marriage Story, where they released it in some theaters, or they released it in theaters but also on Netflix.
I mean, I like that we're going to get 2 Knives Out movies, but I really like, because I got to see it. I saw it in the theater, but I also got to see it early. I got like an email about an early screening, so I got to see it like a week before everybody else, and it was fantastic. And I kept wanting to talk to everybody about it, but nobody had seen it. So
I went with my sister because we like murder mysteries. So like halfway through, she thought she had it figured out, and she didn't.
Well, it's an odd movie because it's not really it's not really a murder mystery. You know how he died.
Yeah, it's really
in the first 30 minutes.
It's so hard to explain what it is, but it's so clever and it's very fun.
It's a murder mystery to everybody in it. It's not a murder mystery to the audience. And I think that's the difference. So
yeah. But I thought that was cool. And Daniel Craig's going to return, I believe, for both of them, but they're talking about getting a whole other cast. So I guess come on Saturday with your cast list of who you want to see in the new Rian Johnson movies.
Well,
I have a list.
I knew that was sort of the gimmick, is that each, that the next one was going to have Daniel Craig and then no other characters from Knives Out.
Yeah.
So
okay,
it was really hard to kill somebody else in that family and have it be a mystery. So that kind of makes sense that they wouldn't bring back all of those people. But
see, I love Daniel Craig. He's my favorite Bond. I love him. I have to watch Logan Lucky with him and
he's so good in Logan Lucky.
I have it. My coworker Chris is amazing. Not only does he loan me all of his Star Wars books, he also, like, when he gets the digital copies of movies, he doesn't use them, so he gives them to me. So
Logan Lucky's on Amazon Prime. You don't even need to.
Okay. Because I have a digital copy of it because he went through a bunch of his old movies and gave me a bunch of digital copies.
Logan Lucky. He's great. He's not like a main. I mean, he's got like a big part in it, but he's not like the main character. So when you see him, he's like in these really great scenes.
Yeah.
He's like, he doesn't carry the movie. So
he was good in Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, but nobody liked that movie but me.
Yeah, I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, no, nobody did. It's okay. Nobody did. But yeah, we are about at our time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did we lose Hannah for good, or is it?
Hannah had to run.
Yeah, she had to go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This has been Followers of the Force Live, our news roundup. New episodes on Mondays or this week, whenever David gets it up.
Gets the episode up.
We had technical difficulties. New Star Wars Journeys on Fridays. Star Wars Happy Hours on Saturdays, and lives with the news every other week. We are on Patreon if you want stuff early. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. I think we're on Instagram. I don't know. I don't use Instagram.
Yeah, we're on Instagram.
We are.
I'm terrible at it. I'm learning. I'm terrible at it. We have a brand new Facebook page that I just set up. So if you want to come talk to, I guess, me and our 10 followers on Facebook, like us on Facebook. But until next time, we're the Followers of the Force, and may the Force be with you always.
See you.